So the government has finally admitted what the rest of the world already knew about a year ago. We are in a recession. What's more, it's affecting everyone. This is particularly evident in Hamilton, where one of our steel mills is shut down for possibly the first time ever. They say that it's only temporary, but strictly speaking, that can mean anything from just a week to over a year. We are definitely in the worst financial shape since the Great Depression, and what is our government doing about it? Sweet fuck all. Locally, we still have councillors, citizens, and special interest groups griping about the new stadium that we now pretty much have to build. Now look, here are the facts. The stadium we have right now is falling to pieces, so unless Hamilton never wants to have any outdoor sports ever again, we need to build a new one. It has to go somewhere, and no matter where we put it, someone's going to be pissed. That's a fact of life that you have to live with. More importantly, though, in case no one's noticed, this whole city is going to be pretty much a slum very damn quickly if we don't give the steel mills some kind of business. What better than to build a stadium in their hometown? Oh right, I forgot, Hamilton doesn't believe in taking pride in itself. Provincially, things aren't much better. At least Ontario Premier Dalton McGuinty is trying to invest in infrastructure, but for some bizarre reason, the construction work is being farmed out to places outside of Ontario. What the fuck are these guys thinking? We have an auto industry that is bleeding to death, and McGuinty wants our buses to be built in Europe? Ah! Then, of course, we have the cold-hearted, soulless assholes in Ottawa, otherwise known as Prime Minister Stephen Harper and his Conservative Party. After needing to have their arms twisted into doing anything at all about the economy, they've decided to spend most of their time and taxpayers' money financing a slush fund that has no strings attached at all, which probably means most of it's going to go out to conservative interest groups. Oh, and making ends that attack the opposition outside of an election, accusing them of not being up to the job. That's a little like an emo putting down a schizophrenic, isn't it? Anyway, when the Stelco plants shut down in Ontario, this was the time for the Harper government to show Canada some leadership. Instead, we have an industry minister who never has any idea what our industries are doing, and a human resources minister who doesn't believe in putting anyone on unemployment insurance. She says that the people ought to be finding work, but what Marie Antoinette here doesn't seem to realize is that there is no work. Interestingly enough, the minister in question, the dishonorable Dianne Finlay, is the member of parliament for one of the towns that will be hurt by steel shutdowns. This would be very interesting to see what she says now. It's at times like this that it's very frustrating to be a Canadian. Every other week we hear about leaders in third world countries around the world being overthrown for exactly this kind of incompetence and indifference. Yet in this country, most people can't even be bothered to vote. When are we, as a people, going to find the balls to stand up for ourselves? If we just keep trusting these idiots and lunatics to run things themselves, Canada will die a very slow death. Well, that's it for me. I need a drink.